welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my entire 18-inch American Girl collection. Now, somebody asked for this video, and I thought it would be cool to make, so here we are. And I just want to show you all the 18-inch American Girls I have. Now, I have shown off my clothing collection in other videos. I have an entire playlist for American Girl dolls, and this video will be in that playlist. But if you want to check out my clothing collection for these dolls, be sure to go back and watch the individual videos for those. But with that being said, I'm going to go through these dolls. I'm going to try to remember as many details as I can about each one, and I'll give you as much information as I can. Some of it, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, is stuff that you've already heard before, but I did want to show it to you guys, and that's what I'm going to do. So my very first American Girl, the OG, is Kirsten, and I got her when I graduated from the 4th grade in, I want to say I was 8 years old at that time. I might have been 7. I was 7 or 8, and I got her. She was the doll that I dreamed about, that I pined for every night, that I slept with that catalog by my side. I looked at it every day. I remember being at daycare, and one of the daycare teachers, her name was Miss Fran, she saw me with the catalog all the time. And we were out under a tree at recess one day, and she asked to see it, and she was actually reading aloud to me the parts of Kirsten's catalog. Like, she read to me from the school story and stuff. So that was really cool. Like, I remember how bad I wanted her, and just that whole experience of getting her that summer was just amazing. So she was my first. And then I got Felicity for Christmas, I think that same year. So I think once my mom had broken that barrier of spending $82 on a doll, once the first one came, the next ones were a lot easier. So I got Felicity that Christmas. I still remember waking up and seeing her under the tree, and how just absolutely excited I was for her, because I loved her so much. And so those are the two that I have like the most core memories of when I was a kid, because they were the first two that I got, and I got them fairly close together. You know what, Felicity might have been the next year, because I think that year for Christmas I got Kirsten's St. Lucia dress, and then I got Felicity the next year. That's right, that's how that went. So I didn't get two in one year. That's how I got the dress, and then the next year I got Felicity. So anyway, those are the two that I'm going to talk about in order, and then I'm going to go down the rest of the line. So then there was Addie, and Addie was not around when I first started collecting these dolls. She came around, I might have gotten her when I was 12 or 13, because she came around a little bit after. There were the first three girls, which were Kirsten, Samantha, and Molly, and then came Felicity, and then came Addie. So that's when I got her. And then Josefina, I got, it was either my 15th or 16th birthday, I can't remember exactly. And you can see she's still in really good condition, and even has her original braid, because by that point in that age, I wasn't really playing with them anymore. But I wanted her because I was at that age still, like, I'm a collector at 15, 16. I decided I was a collector like around the age of 11. And so I wanted her for my collection because she was a new doll, she was a new face mold, and that was a big deal. You know, as a collector, even then, it was a big deal talking about new face molds, and Josefina had a new face mold, and so I had to have her for my collection. And so this is her. I got her for my birthday that year. Then there's Samantha, and my Samantha has always had a funky eye because her bangs are a little bit long. But I got her, I don't remember if I got her for her birthday or Christmas, but I got her one of the following years. And she's one that I never played with a lot. She's another one that I wanted for the collection, but my favorites were always Kirsten and Felicity. The ones I played with the most were Kirsten, Felicity, and Addie. They were the three that I liked the most, and probably because their time periods were the older ones, and so I like that sort of time period better, and so they're probably why I played with those three the most. But anyway, next up is Molly, and I got Molly. She was the last one I got. Actually, I got her before I got Addie, because Addie wasn't out yet, but I got Molly. She's the last of the original ones that I got. And again, you can see her braids have never been taken out. I did not play with her much for the reasons that I just stated to you guys. And the other thing is, I had taken Kirsten's braids out, and I could never get them back quite the way that they were. And it's funny because my friend Lindsay called American Girl when we were both kids, and she asked them if they would rebraid Kirsten's hair for her, and she told them that they told her that she could send the doll to the doll hospital, but the next time she called, she needed to have a parent call because, you know, the 800 number was there in the catalog, and she was probably 10 years old and called, and we were sharing information then about our dolls. So that was some information that I got about her. Now, as an adult, no wait, there was one more I got as a kid, and that is this is Veronica, and she is an American Girl of today, and I got her when they came out. I want to say she was the last one I got as I was still playing with those dolls, so I did play with her a fair amount. My friend Lindsay also got one, so we both had these dolls with that outfit because we got them when they came out. And really just love the American Girl of Today concept. My heart still belongs to the historicals, but obviously I think their big sellers now are the more modern dolls, but I still think it's cool that they do still offer some historical lines. Like, that's where the heart of the company was, and I'm glad that they still offer that. So I got Veronica. I named her because I'm pretty sure this is where I got the name. I used to be a huge fan of Archie comics, and I would get the Archie Digest at the grocery store. They still have them, and I would buy those comic books. I wouldn't buy them because I wasn't gainfully employed, but my dad would buy them for me. My dad would always buy me the Archie comic books and, you know, Veronica from Archie. And I think that's where I kind of got the name because she's got the bangs and the darker hair. So anyway, that's Veronica. Now we'll talk about some of the ones that I started getting as I became an adult collector and got more into adult collecting. So this one is my 35th anniversary Kirsten, and I have a video on the channel about actually being able to go to the American Girl store and get her, because that was like a full circle moment for me, as you know, making those childhood dreams come true. Because first of all, when I got my Kirsten, there were no American Girl stores anyway, and then the fact that we got one here in Charlotte and I was able to go and hand pick her myself was just, it was an incredible experience for me. I really enjoyed it. I want to go to the AG Bistro one day. I've been with my niece for one of her birthdays one year. She's totally not into dolls anymore. I want to go with an adult friend and like go to the bistro and have like an adult collector day out. So I'm thinking about doing that. But anyway, next up is Elizabeth. Now Elizabeth was a flea market find, and this is Felicity's friend Elizabeth, and she was in really good shape except her wig had been cut, and I got her for 30, I think it was 30 bucks, maybe 35 bucks. I bought a replacement wig from Engel Pup, which is the German doll company. If you've watched my channel, you've heard me talk about them before. They have really high quality German made things, and so I got her replacement wig from there because the original OG American Girls, their wigs are, you know, German. They're German made. So that's her story. She was the first one I ever found at a flea market, and I was able to fix up, so I was really proud of that. Next we have Rafaela. Now Rafaela is my Costa Rican girl, and my husband is Costa Rican, for those that don't know. Her outfit is made by a Costa Rican designer. So that is, she is wearing a Costa Rican outfit, and she's got like the kind of look that a Costa Rican girl might have, and her name is Rafaela, which is, I don't think it's a super common name, but it is that is a name that children would have in Costa Rica. So I thought that was really cool, and I wanted her to have, when I originally got her, I had intended to build her an entire collection. I used to be really active on AG Playthings, that board, and I always admired how people would build entire characters out and build collections for those dolls. I remember somebody was building an entire Hawaiian doll collection. This was before Kanani ever came out, and I was so impressed by that and I was so inspired by that. And then that kind of never happened. And that's sometimes where my ideas go. They kind of stop. And my ideas with her pretty much stopped with the clothing, because I did get the Costa Rican design clothing, but I didn't get her a lot of other Costa Rican stuff. But maybe one day. I've always got her. And so as my love for AG is starting to resurface, you guys may have noticed more videos about AG here lately. I feel like that some of these collections that I kind of started but didn't finish, they're going to be coming back. So just kind of hang on for that. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, because I'll be sure to share it with you guys when I move forward with my collection. All right, this is Patty. I don't remember why I named her Patty, but her name name is Patty. Got her in Atlanta when Atlanta had an American Girl store before Charlotte did. We went down there one summer and went to the store, and I got Patty, and I was really excited to get her. And she is wearing a vintage outfit, the Earth Day outfit from the 90s. But I like having some of them to show those older outfits off, because those were the outfits that I grew up with, and those bring me the most nostalgia, and they're also really high quality as compared to some of the outfits today. Now I feel like the quality's not terrible. I think there's been times in Mattel's history where the quality for American Girl was worse, and I feel like it's on a going back up. Like, I think the quality's good again, but I adore like the fabrics and everything that they use for these outfits. So that's why I have them in these vintage outfits. So next is Sonali, and she's also in a vintage Pleasant Company outfit from the AG of today. Sonali is one, when she came out, it was very exciting for me because she had Indian heritage, and she was a different face mold. She was a new face mold, and so new face molds are always like, I gotta have it. And so I wanted her for that reason, for both reasons, you know, because of the Indian heritage and because of the new face mold. So I got her, was really happy to get her. She's one of the ones, like, if I had to pare down everything, so if I could only keep one, it would be Kirsten, like, period. That's the one. But if I had to pare down everything I got as an adult, Sonali would probably be the one I would keep if I had to choose one from all my adult ones, because she's just a really special doll and I really like her. She's traveled with me a few places, and she used to be, I used to be a lot more active with her. I used to play with her a lot more than I do now. Once I found out how rare she had become, I kind of like didn't take her out as much anymore. I took her to Atlanta and got her ears pierced though. Or her ears pierced? Yep, they are. I took her to Atlanta and got her ears pierced in the store. So I remember that was one of the things I did in Atlanta, because I thought that was cool that they offered an ear piercing service at that time. So her ears were pierced, and they were pierced in Atlanta. All right, next up we have got my flea market Molly, or my Goodwill Molly, sorry. And this is the one, I have the restoration video of her here on the channel. She had been chewed up by a dog, but she actually came out pretty nice. You know, I got her for $3. I think she was well worth the $3, and she cleaned up well enough I was able to restore her wig well enough to put her back in braids and put her in the artist outfit. I think she looks great. And so I decided to keep her because I've found a lot of them over the years at thrift stores, flea markets, whatever, and typically I'll resell them. But with a doll that's this banged up, she's not gonna have, like, it's not worth the trouble to resell her. So I decided I would fix her up and just keep her, because with that chewed off hand, you know, it wouldn't be possible. She would be like a parts doll, and I hate to part out an otherwise really good doll, so I just kept her. Anyway, all right, on the bottom row we've got Kanani. Kanani is also wearing a vintage Pleasant Company outfit. I think this is just called the t-shirt, the blue jeans outfit. I can't remember what it's called, but this is another vintage one. You can see it's very faded because back in time I had Veronica sitting in a window wearing this before I knew any better, and those jeans got very faded out sitting in that window. But that's Kanani. Kanani's another one. My brother got her for me for Christmas one year, and really cool doll. I was really excited to get her because I don't know if her face mold was new then. Was she the new face mold, or was Ivy? It's the same face mold. She and Ivy had the same face mold. I can't remember, or maybe Jess had that face mold first. I can't remember, but I did not have this face mold, and when Kanani came out, I really wanted her. She was a Hawaiian doll. She went with me to Hawaii the first time I ever went, so that was a lot of fun to take her there and take pictures, and she actually got a few things while I was in Hawaii, so she has a few little Hawaiian pieces in her collection that I got for her in Hawaii. All right, next up is my newest American Girl. This is the Winter Princess. I just did a video on her not that long ago, and I think she is stunning. Here's a little secret. Well, it's not going to be a secret once I tell you, but she has been on my bedside table since I got her. She is just so gorgeous, and sometimes when I get a new doll, I don't put them in the bed with me because obviously, for obvious reasons, but I have the nightstand beside my bed. She's been standing on the nightstand ever since I got her, and I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, and my Christmas tree I leave it on during the night, and it shines through the bedroom door because we leave the bedroom door open because cats. And the jewels, the gems, the Swarovski crystals on her dress, they sparkle, they glitter at night. Like when I wake up in the middle of the night and I look over it, she's just glittering in the Christmas tree lights. It's just, I love it. She's gonna go back there after this video. I'm not gonna go put her on a shelf yet because I'm just really enjoying her so much this holiday season. So that is the Winter Princess. I have not given her an actual name. She may be the only one that's not actually named. I didn't name I won't rename probably Flea Market Molly because she has a name, and I know I have 2 Mollys, but I won't rename her. She'll still be a Molly, but she probably needs a legit name, so at some point I'm gonna come up with one. All right, beside her is Courtney, and Courtney was the doll that really probably drew me back into American Girl because she's an 80s girl. I was born in 82, so while I was a little bit more like, I guess, cognizant in the 90s because I was still pretty young in the 80s. I remember a lot of that stuff from the 80s, and a lot of that spilled over into the early 90s. And so when Courtney came out, I had to have her, like, and I think that really is what drew me back into my American Girl collecting and my love of American Girl, and it reminded me about, you know, all that love that I have and the passion that I have for American Girl. So that's Courtney, and I have most of her collection. I don't have it all. They've come out with some new pieces this year, but at some point I will get it all. Next we have, I think that's Cecile. It is Cecile and Marie Grace next to her. My grandparents got those for me when they came out, and I wanted them because I just loved their collection. I thought and also because Marie Grace had a new face mold. So Marie Grace, new face mold, but I didn't feel like I could get Marie Grace and not get Cecile. I wanted them both, and so my grandparents got them for me for Christmas one year. And honestly, I had their entire clothing collection at one time, and I had bought it all when they were being discontinued, and American Girl had clearanced it all way out. It was very cheap. I bought everything, and I held on to it for years, and then at one point I went through and I cleaned out my American Girl collection some because it was taking up a lot of space, and I had started collecting more ball jointed dolls, and I just didn't have space for everything because real estate is an issue, and I ended up selling most of their extra outfits. I don't regret it yet, but I feel myself being pulled back into American Girl, and I'm hoping that I don't regret it one day. The good thing about American Girl is there is a very healthy secondary market for it, and I can go on eBay at any point and find any of those outfits. Now, I might pay a lot more than I originally did for them, but at least I can get them if I have any serious regrets. So that's them. And then the last one we're going to talk about is McKenna. And I had to have McKenna for a variety of reasons. I love the World by Us line. I love that American Girl is doing that. And when they do something that I really like, you know, I like to support it with my wallet. You got to talk with your pocketbook on these things. She also has a new face mold, and she's really gorgeous. I just love the story behind those dolls. I love her wig. I love her hair. I love everything about this doll. The purple, you know, what's not to love? And so she was one that I went out and when I saw that she came out, I really did go straight to the store, like my first opportunity to pick her up. So this is my current collection of American Girl dolls. I think there are 19 of them here if I counted correctly. If you want to pause it and count, you can do that now and let me know if I'm correct in the comments. I have a feeling that after Christmas this number may increase because my mother forbade me from buying anything from American Girl. So let's just say that. I do have some American Girl rewards dollars though, so on the 26th I am going to go and I'm going to spend those rewards dollars because that's when they expire, and at that point I'll know what I'm allowed to buy. So anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope that, you know, even if you don't like American Girl or you don't collect American Girl, that you can kind of see the value behind it and how it really helps project kids into a collecting path in their lives, because that's really what kind of projected me into that collecting path, I feel like, is just having a doll with a collection and seeing how that could be so cool to collect all the different pieces and have the stories behind the dolls and things like that. And so I really feel like it is an important part of the collecting community. So whether you collect them or not, I think everybody can at least recognize that. If you do collect American Girl, let me know in the comments below who is your all-time favorite American Girl doll and who is one that's on your wish list that you don't already have. For me, it's definitely going to be Maritza and what's her name? Oh my gosh, I can't remember her name with the curly hair. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, is her last name Evers? What is her first name? I can't remember. Anyway, let me know in the comments below who is on your wish list and who you want that you don't already have. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe because there will be more American Girl content coming. It's not all American Girl. I have all kinds of dolls on this channel. But if you want to stay up to date with the latest American Girl content that I have, please make sure you're subscribed. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons from Patreon: Lindsay S., Leah W., Doreen Z., Janice H., Mercedes W., Cindy K., Bear Sunflower, Diane B., Kelly L., Cindy L., Susie W., Krista R., Victory Run, Shorna R., Shira Star Hobby, Stephanie W., Jessica S., Ray M., and Asia C. Your support means so much to me and helps me continue bringing you great dolly content. For information on how you can become a supporter of this channel, please see the link in the video description. Thank you so much for watching.